Well, let's not talk about young players. Let's talk about some old players. Now, let's move on to them. That's the Phoenix Suns. And I hate to say that because we've kind of grown watching guys like Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal do their thing, but that's just where we are in the world. They're taking on the struggling Washington Wizards in this matchup. And I think struggling is probably a very nice word to say because it's been pretty dreadful. 6-32 on the season. They're on a 7-game losing streak, Billy. 5-17 at home. They're taking on the Phoenix Suns, and they've only won one of their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Suns are looking to get back to 500 after losing the game just the other day, falling to 19-20. 4-6 in their last 10. They could really use a statement win against the Washington Wizards. Durant's averaging almost 28 points a game, but to me, I think the interesting sign here will be Bradley Beal. He's a game-time decision, but he's really found his groove off the bench over these last couple games, and it's almost like a new role for him, which is exciting. Now he's the most expensive role player, most expensive bench player in probably NBA history. Regardless of the case, it's been really exciting to see him kind of resurge in Phoenix. But we'll see if he actually plays because he's a game-time decision. What are you thinking of this game?
Again, I don't have Bradley Beal listed on any projected minutes. It's way too early in the day, though. I mean, I guess that should be the sign for us to talk about it. Listen, it's early morning. The rooster's not even up yet. So this is we're talking about where we're leaning. Okay. We have to watch injury reports. We have to watch early calls on scratches. We have to watch the lines move. And we most importantly have to see what the final decisions are on these starting lineups and rotations.
You know what's the best way to do this? If you're help be a part of the community, if you're listening and you see some new news while this is running and you're listening and you see something, let us know in the comment description below. Let the other viewers see it in the comment description. If you are not sure and you hear something, check the comments. Maybe something's there. And if we hear something, we'll also post it in the comments. So something to keep in mind.
These are the facts. These are the facts. And you're right. You said that the Wizards are struggling, but no, struggling is what I was doing an hour ago when I got out of bed. Struggling is what happens to me on Thursdays before Friday's payday. Okay, if that's struggling, I don't want to know what the Wizards are doing right now. But I'm gonna tell you why I love Devin Booker in this spot. Okay,
I didn't even bring him up. I'm glad you did.
Well, he's about to drop some dimes too, like a bad waiter at Hooters. Okay. Washington's defense is not going to even see it coming. So the Phoenix Suns being hosted by the Wizards, I don't care where they play. They can play on the moon for all I care. All right. This is going to be a scoring fest. The Suns are massive favorites, minus 520, with Washington at plus 390. The spread is sitting at 10.5 points. Okay. The over-under at 233.5. And I am leaning towards the over right here. Washington's defense has been atrocious. They've given up 130 points, Christian, over the last 3 games. 130 points per game.
Ouch, man.
On average, that means they gave up more than that 1 or 2 of those nights. Okay. But with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker leading the way, Phoenix should have no problem exploiting them. I'm going to be cautious with the spread. It's wide, but the over feels like a safe play. Okay, so the standout prop for me is Devin Booker, but it's not going to be where you think it is. It's not going to be on points. It's not even going to be Kevin Durant on points. It's going to be Devin Booker on assists. I've got him graded very highly. He's got a very favorable matchup against a chaotic Wizards defense. Booker's playmaking is in a prime spot to shine here. And we can actually look and see what those thresholds are looking like for his assists. Now he he averages in the neighborhood of damn near 7 assists per game. So that threshold is going to be closer to 7.5. That over threshold is going to be 7.5. I will play it as high as 7.5. I don't see it going as low as 6.5. Just with the only thing that scares me about a game like this is that spread. Okay, if they get too far, too fast, they're going to end up sitting that fourth quarter. But I feel like this is the game where Devin Booker is going to facilitate. And listen, he's there aren't many players on. He is the primary facilitator for this team. I'm looking through. There's not another player who gets dimes at a higher rate than he does on this team. And this is a good matchup for him to do it. So that's what I'm rolling with. He is, what did we just say? 6.5?
Mm-hmm.
No. 7.5.
7.5.
I'll play it up to 7.5. I like that. This is a spot to shine for him. So that's where I'm landing. I'm leaning over 233.5, and I like Booker to hit the over on assists. What do you think, my man?
And this is probably the last game the Suns are going to have without the new center they just grabbed. They just went for a trade yesterday, picked up Nick Richards in a trade with the Hornets. They moved some second-round picks to make that happen. And Josh Okogie, I think, was also involved in that. But he's going to be taking on, battling for a starting center role with, going against guys like Nurkic, which I think is a really big thing for the Suns moving forward. If you can find a way to get to 500 before you chance, because I don't think we're going to see him in this game. I don't think that's happening. I think it's too close of a trade to get ready. I mean, I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked, but I don't see that happening. But if you can get the 500 and then add that, I think what's a very underrated piece in the center game for the rest of the season, I'd be really excited to see what happens there. But regardless, I'm with you. I think the Suns absolutely need a statement win. And what a better time to do it than against the Washington Wizards. This is like the perfect time for them to have them on their schedule, right?